Blitzers, it's Ronan. Welcome back to the channel. We have a couple of terrific Uprising games, and I know Uprising is one of my favorite modes, alternative modes in the game. Our first replay is the top damage I've ever seen in the game by BettaFish from the Yukon clan, and the second is going to be by the winner for the clan top damage. It is SirLance a little, and after this game we may change it to SirLance a lot after his game. So a couple of terrific games that just highlight a little bit of the tanks. We're playing Canal here, and also of just some Uprising strategy and just a lot of fun. Uprising, you know, the modes in Uprising are as much fun, and there's a lot of strategy here, which is why I enjoy it. There's a lot of things that you can do and you need to know in order to maximize it. So BettaFish he's using the Leopard here. Leopard's an unbelievable tank for Uprising if you play correctly. It's a terrible tank if you play it incorrectly. And I think one of the things that I learned from watching Beta play is you got to be pretty aggressive here if you want to create top damage. Great HE shot into the other Leopard, 430 roll, by the way. So you guys know the Leopard's got 3,500 DPM, 3,600 DPM, even without any of the modifications that you get in Uprising. And you can see BettaFish is at 2,600 damage here. He's going to do about 17,000 more damage, so stay tuned for that. And he is taking the traditional route here at Canal for the medium route, spots a whole bunch of tanks there, manages to get a bounce on a Leo, which is pretty much guaranteed to be your gun mantlet because there's just nothing else that tank bounces. Except for awkward angles, and gets out of dodge. Smart move there. Also, you know, if you remember Uprising, look at his blood. He's got 267 blood thus far. The key to these huge Uprising games is don't die too early, and then the second key is don't die too late. You wanna kind of you wanna live, get those blood to, I don't know, probably the 500 mark or more. Then you gotta get lucky with your draws, and then you come back. You live, get to that point again, and come back. And you see Betta's blood's up to 362, just 3,700 damage so far. And he's working this Canal in the ultimate sniper that the Leopard is, just to maximize damage. His team's up 2017 right now, 2016 with that. So it's going pretty well. Not really a concern for a loss, but as you guys have played, that you know that the tides shift with Uprising pretty interestingly. Like you'll have a lead like this, and all of a sudden the other team will get like 3 or 4 kills, and it'll be closer to that. But that one worked out really well. He got some good support there from the Kronwagen. He's down to basically a one-shot, 372 hit points. So BettaFish has to think through what to do with his life. Now you look at his blood; he has a 568 blood. And that's what he did that was brilliant there. And he's got a few options here. Chain lightning 1 would have been nice too, but double shot is the riskiest of them all. And then he took last gasp. Last gasp is very useful for the next Uprising. And as he comes back, double shot is one I actually would say don't use it. I find it to be nearly unusable. And as the game starts out, BettaFish demonstrate. Look at the dispersion. I mean, you're talking about the arguably best cannon in the entire game in the Leopard. He gets one of those two in there. That thing was a dinner plate. I don't even know how the hell he got any of those in there. But double shot, I get what they're doing with double shot, but it really is unnecessary to whack the dispersion this much. I think they could find something else, change the reload or something. But it really makes the double shot not, or make like the Helsings where it's, you have a second shot dispersion or something, but not like this. I mean, he aimed for so long, and look at the size of that. It's like you're shooting with a KV-4 or something. But nonetheless, Beta finds a way to make this work. He's only at 5,900 damage. It's a 13 on 13. So just like I mentioned, the tides really change in this in Uprising, and I think it has to do just with the way the teams moves together. Sometimes a team will end up with a lot of kills, but a few hit points, and then the other wave comes along and basically fixes the battle. So they end up being closer. Now it's 13 on 11. BettaFish goes up against the T-54. He won, gets one of the 2 shells in, and he's trying to desperately get another. He uses the hiding capability, and this is where the double shot is great. The problem is the Leopard is a tank. I mean, Beta really has taught me a lesson I never would have imagined. Oh, and here's blood trailed, which is less than good, and he can't hide. So he is in looks like he's in a world of hurt here. He's got 291 blood. He goes ahead and just takes some of the damage by driving forward, and then the blood is gone. He's up to 346 blood and 8,900 damage. That's the thing with double shot. If you're close to other tanks, it's very effective. I mean, terrific for big heavies that have an accurate gun like the E75 TS or maybe a Louver or something like that. But other than that, he's getting into a range now. Beta with the location he's in, that he's really able to start landing some shots. And he gets 2 of those into the E100. And then he found that Tortoise, who was really, really not smart in his positioning, gets 2 there. He's up to 10,000 damage. It's 11 against 8 right now. He's got plenty of hit points. He's got 1,000 hit points. So if he can just stay down, but there's a much more difficult shot on the Jagdtiger, or the whatever, the Jagdtiger E100 Jag. But then he's got a Leopard sneak us behind him. He gets 2 into him, 700 damage, 1,000. Beta's down to no hit points, and he dies again. But as I said, he had 690 blood, and that's what you need. So now he's got that life-saving one. He's got rapid fire. He's got Inferno, and he's got double shot. Whew, that is powerful. And that's the value. I mean, if you die at the sequence that Beta did here, you really are able to just unload a monster. So he's got 11,000 damage, guys. He's going to do, I can tell you, another 8,000 damage before this is all said and done. It's 10 against 6, so there's not a lot of tanks left for him to do that damage too. But here we go. Clip on your seatbelts. Get ready to rock. First thing Beta does is get close, right? And of course the other Leopard hides, so that doesn't help anything. But there goes the other Leopard. Here we go. Inferno will correct any misses that you have. Now, as you guys know, Inferno is about a 28-second, I believe, something along that line, reload. You can't just shoot it non-stop. So BettaFish goes back to the same position he's been in the entire game, and let's see how he does here. He's got, this is a shot that he should make, and he gets both of them in at 676 damage. Smart of him not to shoot heat, by the way, at the side of an E100. That's a mark of a good player. And for obvious reasons, guys, E100 has spaced armor on the sides. They get 2,200 damage with Inferno, gets both shots in, and oh my god. Should have cleared him. I think Beta was disappointed with that, but wow. There's the E100, EPCR, gets both of them in, some RNGs involved. All right, we're up to 15-5, 15-5, and they've got 4 lives left, 3 tanks. I think the E100 comes back. Beta is now one of the challenges, of course, after your 3rd life on Uprising is when to, how to stay alive. And he does have, who is that? I think that is the Sheridan pushing him. Inferno's back. Big ram on the Sheridan. And oh, what a hit. Beautifully done there. He didn't have a rammer either. Just took the Sheridan out. Smart move. Damage is up with that to 17,400. There is the JGPZ E100, however Lance pronounces it. And easily clears them into the side. He damages 17.7 thousand. Still 2 tanks left. Beta goes there for the finish off the T-57 with a beautiful fashion. 17,800 damage. And he's got 1 TD left. I think it's the JGP. I call it the big pig, by the way, Lance. The JGPZ 100. He does get that, but then he unleashes the Fury and finishes off. I think it says 18,560, but it's actually more due to his big ram of the Sheridan. 19,148 damage, 7 kills, 2949 base XP. Obviously, it's everything is messed up in this mode, but ridiculous game. Congratulations, Beta. Top damage game I saw from this Uprising, and a terrific game. Next match, we got Lech and Lance. Playing in Winter Malinovica. And Lance brings one of my, first of all, he's got the Try Hard, the new 5K rating damage camo. Way to go, Lance. Also, he's bringing the WZ-113, one of my absolute favorite tanks. The 113 is amazing. You got the IS-4 cannon, and you've got 3,400 odd DPM. And you have a turret and pretty decent armor. Honestly, it is one of the best heavies in the game. It doesn't have the armor of the IS-4, and it has other challenges, but it is fantastic. I think you're gonna see Lance put it to use here. And there, first damage shot here into the. He was trying before the gun depression of this thing. Obviously, it's a Russian modified. It's not gonna have much gun depression, but watch him use the hill there. That was very unlucky not to get damage on that track break. But Lance is just working on this Chief, and he just keeps bouncing him. Terrific angling there, Lance. Really just showing enough side just to get. It does bamboozle there, gets the twister into the side, but gets another shot. And and look at the reload of this tank. That's the thing that just makes it so ridiculous. It's just the fact that you could just vomit out damage essentially. So different than other tanks. Lance uses the, I call it fake dead. To protect himself, goes and continues to hammer this Chief. Lech is face-hugging with his AMX 50B. Lech's going to have to teach us why that works, because it has never worked for me. And Lech is probably still alive, so it must have been a reason. Anyway, 1918 now. Lance is just at 2,100 damage. Lance is going to do about 13,000 more damage with before this is all said and done. And Lech's team, shows us that 183 just blood trailed Lance and then hit him for 1,000 damage. Ouch. But Lance is able to go ahead and get some shots in nonetheless. And blood trail is my favorite power in the game. Used correctly with a TD, especially one that's got a rotating turret. It's just awesome. The T30 was my favorite. And Lance did a really nice thing here. He died, and for a second, one trick that you see Lance using there is when you do your fake death, stop moving for a second. Other opponents, it's really hard to know with all that's going on in the game is who died and who didn't die. If you stop moving, you may not get shot, and if you don't get shot, you'll look dead longer, and you can actually block a shot. So Lance did that well there, took another more damage done. He's already blocked 3,300, done 3,700 damage, and he died. He died a little early there, but here's the thing, it wouldn't have mattered. He would have not, double shot would have been completely useless with a 113, so he gets chain landing and last gasp. Last gasp is awesome. Last gasp allows you to come back no matter what with 1 hit point, and that's essentially, it gives you a lot of opportunity, especially towards the ends of these Uprising matches. So Lech and Lance are 14-16 down right now. As you can see, that one of the hardest things to do with this game, and one of my learnings is, and there's the chain lightning hitting hard, is to actually know what's going on in the game with a platoon mate. And that's something that voice chat is just extremely useful for. I don't think these guys were on voice chat. Hard to tell. But I can tell you that I didn't voice chat a lot for this, but I should have. It does help you coordinate your attacks a lot more. Otherwise, just too much going on to keep up. Nice shot into the T-92's turret there. That was a missile shooting T-92, which no longer exists in pub matches. So there's a nice 7.5 update has made that change. And Lance, it's 13-15. Lance is at 5,000 damage. And he's got plenty of hit points now, and he's kind of moving in. The other team kind of is it's actually not doing what's really ideal. They're not doing what's ideal in Uprising, is they're kind of huddled together. And that helps the enemy team, the good guys, I should say actually, coordinate their attack. And Lance does a very smart move there. He got the Dust Devil thing, and he immediately hit his fake death when he's doing that. He knows that chieftain, and he's trying to shoot the hatch of the chieftain. It's not an easy shot to make, well, in the hell of a shot there. When you get Dust Deviled, you need to, you're about to get pounded by something. So use your, whatever you can, your time reversal or whatever you can really help. And so there, M103s move along, Lance pounds him. So positionally, Lance has, he's got some hit points, a good amount of hit points, and he's got 424 blood. So he needs to get another 200-300 blood, ideally, before his next death and for his next life. That will help him come back OP. Very nice shot there with the chain lightning. And there comes a standard B. Standard Bs should stay the heck away from 113s because of the DPM and the armor, and that guy does wisely run away. Their 183 is still, this guy had it in for Lance. This guy was just harassing him nonstop, and just look at how often Lance uses the fake death. A big learning lesson for me from Lance is use this thing. The fake death, or whatever it's called, returns every 25 seconds, I believe. It's one of the most frequent of the powers, so use it constantly when you think you're gonna get shot all the time. It'll really help you. I used it to push a lot, and I don't think I used mine to kind of do what Lance is doing. He's staying in the middle, and he uses it essentially as a shot deflector, which is very smart. All right, 9 lives against 11 now. It's not looking great. We have 6 on 6. 2 have died, but it's not just going that well. But Lance does get 581 blood. His hit points are 512 right now. Another fake death there, obviously, and he uses that. And I think honestly, the standard B was confused and thought he was dead. The standard B over pushed because of that bounce. 2 shots now. By the way, Lance has blocked 5,180 damage. And Lance used that to kill the standard B, which was very useful. 7 against 9 in lives now overall. There's Lance's favorite player, and this 183, and he does actually use the blood trail, and Lance can't stop it. By the way, as you guys know, the fake death thing, tombstone thing, does allow you to stop that, but Lance just wasn't ready yet. He can now then. He can now redo it now. And there he uses it again, and by the way, the fake death thing also lasts for 20 seconds. One of the longer lasting abilities. So it's my favorite abilities for the heavies. I don't like the Dirt Devil thing. I don't think that does as much. Lance pounds the 183. Doesn't get shot by the 183. It does get shot by someone else. And obviously it's blocked. Takes an HE shot into the rear of the T-92. Very nice. T-92 is down to 212. Lance blocks that. 12,700 damage so far. This game is getting hot and exciting. Lance uses, again his last life, but it didn't matter. He was getting shot by 4 tanks at once. All right, so now Lance has some good stuff. Jagged Shells 1, Supernatural Power 2, which is awesome, and then Chain Lightning 2, which is also very, very useful towards the ends of battle. He only has 2 kills at this point, but he's got 12,500 damage. Lech is still alive, probably farming somewhere, doing a lot of damage himself, and in the 50B. And so Lance rushes in. He's got to get in this. It's a 6-on-7 in terms of total lives, but it's a 5-on-4 in terms of players, which is kind of an interesting situation here. Lance gets very aggressive here with his super speed, and he's looking for that 183. He clears a 183 who had another life, but gets rid of him. That was important because that 183 could do all kinds of disgusting things, especially on life 2-3 of this. The standard B does get hit, but reverses that with a time reversal thing. Lance, very nice. You notice the turret speed there of, I don't know how Lance did that so quickly. That was really well done, Lance. And overall, now I just realized how he did it. He used it because he has that super speed probably helps your turret rotation speed and your speed. How the hell he rotated that quickly. Lance clears that. It is now 5-on-4 in lives, and this, look at the HE, and I don't know if the HE there was, and look again, Lance is so smart. Again, had his, just as a protective measure, was already doing the fake death tombstone thing, which is still active for another 7 seconds. Here comes the T-92. Lance hits him and somehow bounces that shot with HE. I'm going to have to figure that one out. But it's 5-on-3, so everybody on there's somebody who actually has an extra life. It's not Lance, on Lance's team, and probably Lech. And then he does get the blood trail by the T-92 in a particularly bad time, but he bounces the shot from the Chief and bounces the Inferno. The Chief does get another shell into him, and Lance is going back over towards the 183. Lech is screaming at him to stop, and and because they had the lead, and Lance had more meat on that bone, but still 15,533. Lech 10,000, so 25,000 combined damage for the Toon. Utterly ridiculous and OP. Great job, guys. Thanks so much for submitting the replays. Congratulations for the great games, and please sub to the channel.